3.
Hi, are you ready to be promoted? I am so happy about this subject today. So today I want to talk to you about being the employee that God wanted you to be. So if you don't know me already, my name is Winter Hendrickson, and I do all things debt-free living, all things foster care, and I am also a full-time working mom. And I love to work. I love to be a part of a team. I love to be in leadership. I love to lead people. I love to be a manager. Like, all these things are stuff that is like super passionate to me. And I also feel like God is calling many Christians into the workplace, and He's calling us to be shining stars in those places and not just there to take money. So so this is gonna be really good. So buckle your seatbelt. You're gonna be learning about things about how to be a better employee, and to consider your job as a place of ministry and also as a place to succeed and to be fulfilled in what God's called you to do. So it's crazy because sometimes when we think as Christians, like most Christians' views of what ministry is in the church and in the church realm. But did you know that you could also be a minister in non-church realms, like in the education realm, in the medical realm, in the business realm? Like myself, that's what I'm in. And then just there's different realms of society. So I just feel like that's something that I feel like the church needs to break off themselves, is like when they have their job, it's just a source of income. It's not necessarily a place where they can be fulfilled, and they feel guilty sometimes when they enjoy it because it's not ministry. Sometimes Christians value like church ministry, like things like on like the pulpit, on the platform and Sunday mornings as more valuable than their day-to-day work environment ministry that they have, and being successful in their workplace. So I just want to break off those lies off of people today. And then so I just really want us to value work. Work is really important. I really like it. And the Bible has a ton to say about work. In Proverbs alone, like whenever I read Proverbs, it's so funny to me. What stands out the most in Proverbs to me is like, don't be lazy. People that are lazy do not get fed, and the people that work hard get fed. Like, that's just kind of like what like the gist of most of the Proverbs say in there. And it's just really funny to me that like the people that work hard and succeed in life, and the ones that like cut corners and are lazy don't succeed in life. So please read that in the Bible. So that's really good. Read Proverbs if you're interested in any of that. So here are some tips as to become an amazing employee. I really love working. Like, that's something that's a super huge passion of mine. And I've actually been promoted about 6 times in my working career. And I work in retail management. And right now I'm an assistant manager at a small retail chain here in South Dakota. And I really like it. And it's been fun. And how I got promoted was by doing these things. So let's start. Okay, the first thing that I really recommend is integrity and honesty, not to cut corners. This is really serious to me. You can cut corners and you can like lie about your product line, you can lie about things, but in the long run, these things don't last. Even in the natural realm, if you lie to one of your customers, let's say, about like a product line just to get them to buy it, the next time they come to you to buy something, they won't want to buy from you because you lied to them. So there's just a lot of like, you are representing God in your workplace, and you don't want to represent Him wrongly. Like, when I was just starting out like in retail, like I always like would work as unto the Lord, and I still do that to this day. But like, that's something that's really important even when you're like just starting out, is like, I'm not working for like this person's approval. I'm working for God's approval, and I'm doing this so that like it's before the Lord, and that's more important than any other manager could look onto. So you want to do things right, and you don't want to cut corners. Like, if you do something wrong, you should fess up to it. So this is kind of a cute story. Like, one time I was working, and my boss told me to order some coffee makers for this sale that we're having. He told me to call the place that provided them to us and make sure they were on our truck the next day. And I'm in that generation where I don't call people. It's just not something that we do because we're weird. This was like early on in my management life, and like I just don't like calling people. Like, how many people can relate to me, right? It's hard to call people. And so I told him that I did call them, and I didn't. And that whole day I was just like, I don't know why they didn't show up because I called them. And I just felt horrible like about it. And I eventually went to my boss and apologized because I lied to them about the coffee makers. I mean, that seems really silly, but like even like when you start making small lies about stuff, eventually you can make bigger lies and you can lose your job, and it can prevent you from being promoted in the future if your boss can't trust you in what you're saying and in your actions. So please just don't lie about things. It's not okay. We're actually at my workplace, we're in the middle of a situation where someone lied like about some serious things, and that it's really not going to go well for their life. For a while it could go well, like, and you can get away with not working, but and getting paid for it, but eventually it's not going to pay off. So, and also this includes something that's really important to me is like, we have these super smart phones nowadays, and if we could really take advantage of our workplace by just being on our smartphone and not working, and that would be stealing from our company. So I just want you to like be aware that like you can control yourself, you have self-control, and I want you to really look at things as like stealing or not stealing. So and not like hiding in the bathroom. That's like something really popular right now. It's like where people hide in the bathroom at their workplaces and are on their phone, and that's stealing from their company. Just you're stealing their time. So recently my husband, he sent me this text, and it was like Proverbs 27:18, and it was really good. I'm going to read it to you. It says, workers who tend a fig tree are allowed to eat its fruit. So workers who protect their employees' interests will be rewarded. And I just think that's really good. Like, when you're there to protect your employer's interests and you're not there for your own selfish gain, like if you like agreed upon something and it was fair and you were going to do that work, you should agree on that wage and you should do your work. You shouldn't complain about your wages because you agreed to work there in the first place. If you're not happy with your wages, you should leave that place and not work there, because it's just, that was your agreement with them. And you should want your employer to succeed, and you want them to have more money, because then you'll have more money. It's just kind of a no-brainer, and plus I think that's what God wants you to do. Also, the second thing is people who are eager and positive. This is a good tip to getting promoted and to be an amazing employee. People who are positive in the workplace, they just are so much fun to work with. I don't know anyone that likes working with like a Debbie Downer, so to speak. Someone that's really negative, someone that really, whatever you say, like every time you say white, they say black. That's like just so frustrating, or everything is horrible. Their outlook on life is not fun. They might be really intelligent people, but they're not fun to work with. And it's kind of a truth that people who are positive in their workplace will outperform the negative people like double fold. Like, and you'll get more promoted because, you know, your boss wants to be around someone that's positive and like wants to get the work done, as opposed to someone who is negative and is kind of lethargic about it because they don't agree. And there's a place to disagree. Don't get me wrong, you can disagree with your boss in a respectful way, but being negative is not the way to do it. So just don't be negative. All right. And also, like, people who are positive tend to take more risk and ownership, and employers like that, and they people that tend to take risk tend to make a lot more money. So that's awesome. All right, so a lot of this stuff comes from working in the business realm, but it also can translate over into education realm and medical realm and all sorts of areas of business that you're or jobs that you're working in. So something that this is something I do personally all the time, and I really like live by this, is I never stop asking questions. Like, it keeps you humble and learning. I just feel like asking questions in the workplace is something that's so valuable. Like, if you don't know the answer to something, like, I find out the answer, you know, like, I don't want to like just make something up on the spot just to make myself sound smart, but I'm always wanting to be learning, and I'm always wanting to learn something new, like something that's different. And if I don't know the answer, I'm going to find out because I'm going to ask questions. So it's really, really good. So I encourage you to do that. Also, being a self-starter and able to work independently. So when me and my boss are looking for employees to promote, like, we're looking for someone that can work independently and able to do their work on their own. So I want you to bring all your ideas to the table. That's really important. Employers don't like hand-holding. Like, they don't want to like have you like do a job and then go back and check on you like 15 times. You know, at the beginning they might have to check on you a few times just to make sure you're doing okay, but if you can just do a job and they know you're going to do it right, you're going to have more responsibilities, and in the future you're going to be able to outperform all the other people and stand out for a promotion. So that's what you want to do. The next thing is to be able to be a part of the team. This comes with a lot of people skills. So I want you to encourage you to work on your people skills. So I want you to not have any drama in your life, like with the employees around you. Like don't create drama, don't stir up drama with other people. You just need to work well with other people. And we can do that as Christians, you know why? Because we love people, and we are able to do that on a day-to-day basis because that's what God's called us to do, is to love other people. And you can also, like, this is so important, you're able to resolve conflict with other people without your boss having to step in. Like, that is amazing. If you can do that, like, you are an amazing worker and you will be promoted very soon. Also, I encourage you to cross-train and to be able to work in different other areas of wherever you're working. So it makes it easier when you are promoted to be able to just step into that role because you already know how to do all those things. So it's going to be an easy transition for everybody involved, and you'll just know how to do it, and you'll do yourself a favor. Okay, and then the last couple things here. I really want to encourage you to honor your boss. Honoring your boss is huge. Like, it's not brown nosing. The Bible talks so much about respecting authority. I've had a wide range of bosses in my life, and some of them are horrible and some of them are great. So I just want to encourage you to love your boss and to do what's the best, have their best interest in mind, and not to be out for their harm. Like, I wouldn't talk behind their back or anything like that. Like, you just gotta like guard your tongue because they are amazing. They're where they are. That's where God put them to be, and we're to honor them. And the Bible's pretty clear about authority. And lastly, I want you to love everyone you work with. And that's kind of the point of why why God placed us where we are, is to be an influence for Him. And like, you want to love these people. You don't want it to be about yourself. So when you're talking, like, just like do a self-eval. Like, am I talking always about myself, or am I talking about or am I asking them questions about their life? So this is something that I do really well. I think I love asking people questions. I like knowing what's going on in their life. I like to know about their kids, about what's going on, their situations, where they're at, and just want to encourage you to do the same so that you can be that resource for them when they really need it. And who knows, maybe they will have started a relationship with God through that means, or you'll plant some seeds in their life for them to later know God in that way. So that's really important. And so this last scripture is something that I keep on my desk every single day at work, and it's called when the righteous prosper, the city rejoices. And I just think that's so like beautiful. It's like, because when you are like prospering as a Christian, like the whole entire like earth rejoices for that, because like the earth is groaning and waiting for the sons of God to become who they are in Him. And this is like so like integral to a part of our Christian walk, is being who God called us to be in every area of society. If all of us just went into the ministry and were ministers, who would work in like the world? Like, you know, who would be like, you know, helping people, provide for them in a grocery store or something like that. Like, that's just like, we all need to play our part and be who God created us to be. And like, who knows, maybe God created you to be a manager. Maybe He created you to be a doctor, and that's who He wants you to be in that realm of society. So I just want to encourage you in that today, that you are probably where God like has you to be, and I just want you to be the best that you can be in that situation in society. So anyways, I love you guys so much, and please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, if you want to hear more information about debt-free living, foster care, living out your dreams, and all that stuff. And I hope you guys have the best day ever. I'll see you next time. Bye.